Hello, everybody. Welcome to Whispers from the Void. Again, we are back, and we're back with guests. It's been a while. It's been a fucking little bit. But in our effort to get things back rolling, back on the train tracks, we are here. Phil, good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you, Evan. I'm Phil Dividends for the Intimate. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Today we have a very special guest. We have Jon Lambert, Noise Dosage Media. How are you, Jon?
I'm doing great. I don't think I can match the amount of energy that you have right now. Like, you were like, ah!
To be fair, I got a mask on. When I'm doing this, I'm just like, I got the fucking mask because right now I'm anxious as hell.
Oh no! Yeah.
Oh, dude, like Phil's
Phil's
got like radio personality.
Yeah, you just gotta be nonchalant. Just don't bring up things that people don't want to hear about. You know what I mean?
Do you know the series with Jim Carrey? There's a series, I don't know what is like the name of the series, but it's a series about Jim Carrey as like a host of a TV show, and he's like fucking happy during the TV show, but like outside just depression, anxiety. I don't know what is. I don't know what is the show.
Just Jim Carrey in general?
Jim Carrey in general, but there's a show about it with Jim Carrey inside it. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Is that Yes Man?
No, I don't think it's Yes Man.
That's a great movie, man.
I will check it out. It's a series. Like it's a TV show. It's not like a movie.
Well, while you figure that out, I brought a beer.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. A little bit. Okay, so the beer thing. All right. So I remember you guys on Vox and Hops like during the pandemic.
Yep.
This was when I was like starting my own podcast. And I remember like you guys having that like a hell of a time on that hangout group. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, they have a podcast, man. I got to reach out to them.
Yeah, me and Phil, as the story goes, got started because of the pandemic. Randomly, in a Zoom call in one of those groups, was just like, Phil was like, I want to start a podcast. And he was like, do you want to do it with me? And I said, sure, why not? And then here we are.
That's awesome.
The ball's been rolling ever since.
We've been bro ever since, and I am the Canadian uncle of his baby.
Yes.
That's funny. So you said Canada. I mean, how far are you from
Quebec City?
Quebec. Okay, because I'm
Buffalo?
I'm U.S. Yeah, U.S. Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like 9 hours from me to go in Toronto, to go after that in Niagara Falls. Yeah, it's a long run, but it's good.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go to Toronto like a lot recently. I just haven't been there since I was a kid.
I mean, you could. You just live.
I really don't live that far, but I want to go to the NHL museum because I remember doing that as a kid.
Yeah, the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's great. I've been to Toronto when I was a kid. It's pretty good.
You touched the Stanley Cup.
Have I touched it? I don't remember.
Are you a Sabres fan?
I want to say I'm a hardcore sports fan at all, but I try to attend like maybe 2 hockey games a year.
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely not the guy in the bleachers yelling at losing my throat over it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's like complete opposite to Chris Thrash.
Oh man, yo, Chris is a good. I love that dude. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
He's hilarious.
Big Toronto Maple Leafs guy.
Yeah. If he were to hear me say that, he would probably drive all the way from Canada and hit me over the head with his hockey stick.
Yeah. He's awesome.
He's
got a lot of cool stuff going on.
By the way, I found a TV show with Jim Carrey. It's called Kidding.
Oh, you figured it out. Kidding.
It's called Kidding. Yeah, it's about a guy that is like He's the host of a TV show. Premise, okay, so Kidding sets in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Follows Jeff I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's call him Jeff. And he's a presenter of a children's television show called Mr. Pickles.
I like that
sounds
name,
weird.
Dude.
Like the Adult Swim show, the Satanic Dog. I love that show, dude.
Mr. Pickles is great, but like appreciated by children and parents alike. Mr. Pickles anchors a multi-million-dollar branding empire, but he faces a personal tragedy and difficult family life. Interesting.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You guys watched the new Dahmer show? Like,
oh, I've been watching it.
Nah.
You know what's amazing to me is I don't know because I don't know if you guys are like into like that whole realm of serial killers, but like how the actor portrays Dahmer is so fucking spot on.
It is. It's weird.
You know what's funny is like I don't think people realize, like, you know how everybody's like, oh my god, I'm a sociopath, I'm a psychopath. Like, I don't think people realize like what that all means, and then they see like what Dahmer was like, and you're like, oh dude, like he's on a like that's fucked up. Like he's on a whole other level of just insanity.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like hearing him talk. So like, have you watched the follow-up documentary show about it?
So with the tapes or whatever, like
it was like released like after, like it's the show itself is like spot on with like the realistic, like the recordings of like Dahmer. Like I think it's a really, how sometimes you watch like shows and they're very like Hollywood, they just add things that they just shouldn't. Or they do it just so you get views or whatever. It was like dead on, dude. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
Very terrifying.
Very terrifying. Let's put it this way: I don't walk down dark hallways or dark alleyways anymore, thinking la di da di da.
Dude, I mean, you can't. It's such a different time period, right? Like, you cannot get away with some of the shit that he was just getting away with.
Oh yeah.
It's wild. Yeah. It was wild, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a different time period without a doubt. But
yeah,
what's funny to me is like the fact that like he killed somebody when he was super young, and then he was just like, I'll get back to it like 10 years later, and then he just went on this like spree and like I don't know. It was just a very like creepy film. That's like one that I definitely did have nightmares about because I'm like, oh man.
I remember first hearing like about like John Wayne Gacy, and then some of the like interviews that he did, and how, cause I think did he recently die? No, he was killed.
Yeah, he got an injection.
Yeah, he was put to death, and the letters that he'd write, and like the people that would reach out to him, like he was just like
fantasizing over them. And that's the weirdest part. Like there was like some like popularity thing too at the end of the show, where
who was it that did the it's got him as a picture there, metal album.
Oh, I don't know.
Acid Bath?
No, I have no idea.
It's John Wayne Gacy as a fucking clown.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Acid Bath, dude?
I think it's Acid Bath, yeah.
It is Acid Bath. I didn't connect those two until you said that.
Yeah, it's fucking Gacy's just fucking in there, dude. It's wild.
By the way, I saw you with your beer, and I have a good bottle of beer.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Worship Doom.
Yours? Oh, Worship Doom. I still have my Worship Doom that I got like this summer. So I'm like, but
it's getting cold out. It's time to break out the stouts.
Yeah, but I wanted to get this one because, like, for me it's special because, like, you're the first guest that we had since, like, January.
Oh,
wow. I think. So
was Drew our last guest? Or was Chris our last guest?
No, it was Chris.
It was Chris and Brian.
Chris Soutsos.
Yeah. Get thrashed on.
So you're really getting ready for this one. Jesus, that's huge.
So yeah, but this one is pretty good. It's like how much? It's 4.9%. It's not
4.9. Mine's
it's a grisette.
11.
It's like a blend of
excuse me.
It's a blend of Berliner Weiss and grisette. Aged 12 months in Gin Barrel.
Interesting.
From O'Dwyer Distillery. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty good. Let's open that bad boy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't bring a beer. I should have. But
hey,
whatever you want. Yeah.
Is that a Vox and Hops cup?
No, this one.
Is that a big wine glass?
No, this one it's a BG Brasserie Urbaine because this beer it's called Instinctif Besoin, which is like instinctive. I got the pronunciation wrong. Instinctive needs. That's what it means.
Mm-hmm.
What is that shirt you're wearing?
My shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a band from Quebec, well, from Montreal. It's called Anonymous.
Okay.
They did an album in Spanish called La Bestia. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's in Spanish, but they got mostly stuff in French.
La Bestia?
La Bestia. Because the guy is from Chile. The singer of that band is from Chile. I think the drummer is from like another country, like down south in South America. But yeah, like it's anonymous.
I like it. I like how like the print is like huge.
Yeah,
I think that's like I think that's
huge.
a common problem with metal bands where like you look at the shirt and it's either like really like the graphic is super small, or like I don't know, like this if this was a small design, like the logo would be like this, like
but mostly it's like problem we have with shirts is like because I did some shirts with Spreadshirt and like Teespring.
Okay.
And I don't know why when you put the design on it, it just like it doesn't like show up big. It show up like very small. And
because that's how they make money.
Yeah. It sucks. It just
they use like
sucks.
a shot of ink. They're like, no more.
Yeah, but that's why I will go with the shop that they got a shop in Longueuil, which is like near Montreal.
Yeah.
And like they got this shop, it's called Image Folie. Like they're doing some good print, and this one's like all over the shirt. So like you got something on the back.
Well, Revocation did that. I like when I was at that show, like it was like a full print of the new record. Oh shoot! It is like a full. Dang. That's awesome. I don't have any full print shirts.
I mean, it's the second one that I got because I got another one from an hardcore band called Ceremony.
Okay.
Like they released like an album. Well, I say it's hardcore. It's like hardcore, but like they got some albums like very rock and pop. It's very weird. That band is weird. Shout out to Grayson because he showed me that band, and honestly, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, no, Ceremony, like the all over prints, like flowers all over the shirt. I was like, yeah, it sounds good. I like it.
What is your most prized metal shirt for you guys? Like one that you know it stinks, there's holes in it, but like you just can't get over it. I'm curious.
Internal Bleeding.
Okay.
The shirt that I got from the 2018 show, because that shirt, well, I bought it, but the guy who gave it to me, it's Frank Rini, the first singer of Internal Bleeding. He was touring with them for that show at that time.
Said he gave it to you?
And no, like I bought it from him, but just like this guy is a legend in the slam death metal scene, so I'm just like receiving the shirt from him, getting a photo with him, and also he participated with my other project called Overdose of Bacon. Participated on one of the songs. This guy, like, I'm just like, I cannot like just throw it in the trash. I can't. Like, there's holes everywhere on that shirt. It's small, but I cannot just like get rid of it. It's just like too sentimental. Like, I just love that shirt.
Evan, what's your shirt that you won't get rid of?
I used to have this old Shadows Fall shirt.
Oh, okay.
From way back. I was like a kid. Damn. They had played a show. It's like around. It was like around Chicopee or something out in Western Mass.
Yeah,
something like that. I can't exactly remember.
Yeah, I remember. I won't call it my most worn shirt, but most prized shirt is kind of hilarious. But I have like a Metallica T-shirt. I remember going to their show, and it was like $55 to $60 for just a regular T-shirt. Oh. The first time I ever seen Metallica, so like I needed it, right? I need to say like I got a shirt at the Metallica show, but holy crap, man, that's a lot of money.
Honestly, when you go to big venues, it's always expensive. But always. Like, it's so ridiculous because, like, I saw a couple of shows like this year, and the first time I went to a venue called Le Capitole in Quebec City.
No.
Like, there's no fucking metal shows at that place except, like, Dream Theater and, like, old prog rock band. Like, no metal shows, no rock shows. Like, it's poor in that genre. But we had In Flames in town, and In Flames played at Le Capitole. So
wait, was that the last tour they're on right now? Yeah, the
tour with In Flames, Vended, Orbit Culture.
Oh wait, Venda was on there. I know Hammerhead's on it now.
Yeah, Vended, Fit for an Autopsy, and Orbit Culture with In Flames.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw that was great, but the shirt's so expensive, dude. Even the shirt from Vended and Orbit Culture, they were like $55 Canadian, by the way. So it's like, is it expensive? Yeah, it's expensive, even for US. Yeah,
that's a lot of money. Jesus,
so much money. I was like, oh, let's do it. But because like
let's do it.
I was like, let's do it. Let's take it. I just spent like $110 on it. I was like, nah, fuck. Why have I done that? And I was with a girl that night, and she was like, yeah, on my shirt, I just like get it at $55. And we went to another show after. It was like a little like bar in Quebec, and all the shirts were like $30-$40. And she was like, yo, it's not so expensive. That's why I go to those venues.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't know, like a lot of shows that I go to, like I try to get out with spending like a weekend, like $35 with the show, and like past, like I think if I can get out of the weekend for like $60, I'm all good. Like, but I've definitely went to shows where I'm like, oh man, like I want everything, and then I'm just like, my wallet, it's gone. It's obliterated. You know?
It's doing this to me every time I go to shows, man. Every fucking time I go to shows. Like I went to the show with like this band Anonymous. That shirt is $60, by the way.
That one?
Yeah. It's all over print. So like it's more expensive because it's all over print. Like all the shirts were like $30-$40. So it's not expensive like most of the time, but like this one is special. So they needed it like more print and more like ink. So they needed to put it at $60.
Wow.
$60.
Yeah, well,
But like when you are in that like in this business of shirt making, you realize that you need more. Like it costs more money to do it. So for sure they have to let it like, oh, it would cost $60 because like, oh, making the shirt and the bands will have to get some money in their pocket, and like the venue will take some like merch.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
didn't know. Yeah, dude, and that's a new thing, man. I figured out that like recently where like this like venue that I know like in Rochester. It's like a small intimate place, but not like, huge. And they take a merch cut. Like Imperial Triumphant came and like they had some really good quality shirts and I spent like $40 on it. But I was like, man, like you're gonna take a cut out of that? What? Come on, man.
It always depends on the venue though, because like big venues or like middle venues, let's say like something, I don't know, maybe 500 cap or something like that. Those venues can take a cut. And like I can understand in a way. I can understand the big venues, like when they have their own staff doing the merch table and all.
Oh yeah,
I can understand this, that they take a cut. Like this I have no problem with. The problem is when the guy is like signing a contract, doesn't say he want a merch cut, and then he just goes to the guy just like, yo, I will take a merch cut. Dude, it's not in the contract. We signed the contract. Yeah, but like it's the house, it's the venue rules, and like, dude, it's contract. Contract, no merch cut.
It's like,
I heard some stories like that. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
and, like Imperial Triumph, it's just a prime example of like Imperial Triumphant. They had attendees, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, they are like just scraping by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he told me, he's like, man, like we make enough money to like, go to each show, gas, food, all the essentials, but like, I don't know. It's hard to hear that from like a standpoint of like, somebody just scraping by and then like getting a merch cut thrown at them. Like not knowing about it too. It's like what? Like,
but like when I heard that, I was a bit pissed off. But in the end, it's the business after all. Like,
there's two types of things, man. You got like people like us that like really support the music, and then you have like people that are money oriented, and that's like venues. What else? Like like PR companies, like all that kind of stuff. That's like it's a tit for tat type thing. Money, promotion, money, show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the world is ruled by money. That's it.
Yeah, it's yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I know. Huge fucking bummer.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Do you have
Let's
some
see.
questions?
Oh, dude. Well, part of the reason we have Jon here today is that Jon is not only a podcaster, a media guy, but he is a filmmaker. He recently dropped a documentary called Between Exultation and Aggression.
Got it right. Hell yeah.
Where basically, if you haven't seen it, Jon was able to interview a lot of like some of the older guys from some of the older bands, Incantation, Napalm Death, and also from some of the new school, like old school death metal bands between like Sanguisugabog, Frozen Soul, Gate Creeper. And he was, you got a lot of cool people on there. And I got to ask, what was it like just, coming up with the idea and just following through and then really just getting to meet all these people and get their opinions on.
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Just because like there were so many experiences that I just wasn't, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't prepared for it. Like the whole documentary itself, like was not like there was no step-by-step guide on how I wanted to get it done. A lot of the occasions it was, a band was coming through my city, and I maybe had like a connection through my podcast, but like the actual feeling of meeting all the people was awesome, because I love the scene just a little bit more, because you come to realize like everybody has like common interests, and I don't know, they were all just sweet and nice people. Like they all took the time to just talk to me about metal for like a half hour,
Mm-hmm.
like Travis from Cattle Decapitation, man. Like I was like sitting on the bus with him just shooting the shit like this. And
Yeah.
he's like my idol. Like I love that band so much. My favorite metal band. And to be able to
Mm-hmm.
just sit there and just talk to him like a normal person was an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. I really enjoyed the getting to see the different perspectives, because you can see it from a guy like Travis to you know Barney to even like Devin Swank, and just like how they got introduced to metal, where they all fall in. Like you
Mhm.
could definitely tell that like a lot of the older guys, they were saying they were all into things, between like Iron Maiden, Motorhead,
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
finding like death, like on the other end of the spectrum. It was like Obituary, Death, and then like that
Exactly,
whole death
dude.
metal wave in
Exactly.
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm.
think one of the coolest things that came about with the ending film was just like it was like a spiral of things. Like it started off where Barney was like, "Hey, um, I was introduced and influenced heavy by Lemmy from Motorhead." Right? That was the beginning of the film. That was the first
Mm-hmm.
sentence. And a lot of like the extreme bands, kept saying like Napalm Death, right? So it started with Motorhead, then I went to Napalm Death, and then you got these younger guys that are like, oh, now I'm into a little bit more obscure stuff, but they're like, yeah, I was influenced by Cattle Decapitation. Shadow of Intent said that,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a staircase of everybody saying, oh, this is what got me into metal. I loved it. That was a good point to bring up, without a doubt.
It was definitely. I think it's nice to see that it's still sort of the train's still rolling, and everybody is still finding their own influences, from the generation before and from the bands before. Um, but a lot of the time, I did notice that guys talk about how like that idea of like becoming the first heavy band, like becoming the fastest and becoming the
Yeah.
the chuggiest or meatiest or whatever, like that is all sort of like disappeared, because there are so many people that have evolved into that sound, and now it's more or less like trying to differentiate yourself between all of the other ones that can achieve that sound, just because it's been so studied, like
Oh yeah, every aspect of metal,
yeah.
man. You know.
But,
Yeah, studied for a fact. I think a
mm-hmm.
lot of bands now, like, they're kind of reverting to more like groovy, slower, and just catchy riffs, which is awesome. I love that. Uh, you know, it's not just a beating over the head for like 5 minutes. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
some catchy, like Revocation, dude. Prime
Yeah.
example. They're
Yeah.
like they're kind of they're following that formula of being creative and having their own sound, but at the same time, like they're still doing the whole chorus thing. They're still writing catchy riffs. But yeah, like
It's
you said, man.
it's catchy and very technical too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got this technicality that not a lot of band in death metal have, and also they got those like influence, if I can say so. Like just Dave Davidson got those influences from country in his guitar playing. I was like, what the fuck? That's interesting. Pretty interesting. And I was listening to those riffs, and I was like, yo, it resembles to like his other stuff he's doing with Gargoyle. Gargoyle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gargoyle. Yeah.
Gargoyle. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good one.
Dude. But I mean, I was really impressed with the documentary.
Thank you.
It was definitely really cool to see what you were able to put together. Do you have any plans on doing any more filmmaking of that degree?
Oh yeah. I mean, I before this, I brought up like filming with Dave Davidson. Mm-hmm. There's another one down the pipeline. Let's put it that way. So, I already filmed like 5 people so far. Shit, I'll tell you, Full of Hell. Full of Hell, Revocation, and I'll give you another one. Yeah, whatever. Scott from Carnifex, he's like a big one. Yeah, Scott. So those 3 I've already filmed with, and a couple other ones, but yeah, there's another one down the pipeline. I can't wait for you guys to check it out eventually. It's gonna be like between Exultation and Aggression 2, just like kind of the same thing, but like a spin, you know. But
yeah.
What I guess my question off of that is what did you guys like about it? I'm kind of curious.
Okay, so because I was going to ask a question about it, like, did you had critiques about it? But I'll share my view about it. Yeah. It's a great documentary, like, in a way, seeing all those like artists that you interviewed and getting their report about death metal. I'm just like, that's very great. But I'll be fair, and like, I cannot say, oh, it's great. Like,
oh yeah,
it's
no,
a great one. I thought it was a bit long.
Oh yeah, that's
I
the
thought
thing,
it was
man.
not just a bit. It was fucking long. And I thought also, I was like, because I thought it was lacking of chapters, of like a story behind the documentary in a way. And I was like, I was just, for me, from my point of view, I was seeing a bunch of interviews.
Yeah.
But not like a direct, like
a path.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing a path, because like when you see the documentary, you have like this story behind it. Yeah. You're like, oh, you're talking about death metal? Well, talk about like, I don't know, what makes death metal, what makes the scene that is today. And I just see like bands like interviewing. I'm just like, yeah, is it like the whole documentary? Yeah, I listened to it like more, but I was like, where is he going with that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it there's like a fine line between like, okay, so the documentary itself, like, there was like things where it was hard to create like a full-fledged story, because I mean the factors at play, like I mean, like the bands would come through and I would have like an hour time slot, so I couldn't have them like film with me for like 2 hours or whatever, you know, and get the most footage as I can. But I guess the next one, I'm kind of more gonna focus on like a little bit of a storyline, and like, I don't know, get a little bit more structured. Like the first one was very, very long. It was like 3 hours. I mean, but it was hard because there were so many guests, and like trying to keep everything like in a square and a story is hard, because I mean, especially with 20 people, like that story could go very quickly, you know.
For sure that story can go very quickly, but like, as a fan of documentary, mostly like, I've never done documentaries, but I know from what I saw, it's like, it's some subject about death metal. Like, what do you want to talk about death metal? You want to talk about the premise of death metal? You want to talk about like the death metal, the scene itself, how it forged. Like, maybe just asking those questions about how you can do your documentary.
Yeah.
And also just like when you ask questions to people and like you already did interviews, maybe just like just see your interviews and be like, okay, I asked this question to that guy, I asked this question, and this answer could fit with that in my storyline.
Yeah. I mean, there was like a premise, like for the first one, I wanted to hit the evolution, the culture, and stories about extreme or like death metal music. And I think I hit every 3 of them. So I mean, there is like a story. There is a story, but I think the next one I'm gonna have less guests and like make it a little bit more focused by like using more footage, because I think the hardest part with the first one is I had so much where I was like, okay, well, I have all this footage, I don't want to cut it all, but at the same time I don't want it to get sloppy. And I think the amount of footage that I had contributed to what you're saying, you know. Like I feel like some people could get lost with what it was about because it was just so long.
And that's why like I told that, and I was lost like at the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll be fair. I was lost because I just saw interviews, and I was like, is it the goal of it just to show interviews about death metal scene? Yeah. So I was like, okay, what is your point with that? So that's why maybe like I'm just saying that you take my advice if you want, or if you don't, I don't care. Put maybe your voice in it.
I'll be
talking
right
about like the storyline about it and be like, you know, like, hi, I'm Jon Lambert, Noise Dosage Media. I'm the one that did the first interview, the first long ass movie, something like that.
The long one.
And be like, I was always interested about death metal, and I just want to see like, what is death metal for them? You know, like something like that. Maybe like, because putting your voice, even if you're not known by people, it's not like people will learn to meet you, to just like, they will learn about you in the documentary. Like I saw a documentary recently, like it's a French documentary on Amazon Prime. It's about a rapper called Urbaine, and like it was his brother that did the full documentary about his life. About how this started, and like the guy had footage from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I wish I had that. Like if oh man, like I think.
But that what he was doing is like, this guy is not known, and like he's now known because of that documentary, because he was like putting himself as the brother of the rapper, and be like, I've been filming his work since like 20 years. It's been 20 years I've been filming his work, and I just want to show it to you.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I know that somebody recommended the next film that I have some type of like narration, like words in it, and I think I might really think about that, because I'm probably gonna make the next one about like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But I think that if I had some sort of like backbone for the next one, you know what I mean, like that kind of kept the train on a straight narrow path.
Yeah.
You know, where before, like, I show like the conversation, I could say like this, you know, these were the points that I want to come across in this documentary film, and this is what I got out of, like, I think that the narration idea would be very smart. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I enjoyed the perspectives.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed just seeing everybody give their own sort of history and their own sort of thoughts, even though for the large part, in the large majority, obviously we're all sort of the same as metalheads, but I mean, definitely just to see, you know, the differences and how some of these guys think was that's how Drew is feeling right now.
He's angry.
That's the angry octopus. He is. You're not having a good night, are you?
And also, just like that, this octopus, I gave it to them.
Yeah.
That's my gift.
What is it?
Yeah, that's funny.
Now he's happy. So
look at it.
Yeah, continue on it.
Yeah,
continue, John.
I think the documentary, the first part, I didn't know how to film make at all. I didn't know how to do video, so that was my first thing. But I think that, there's some positives and negatives of the first film, and I think I learned like what to do, what not to do, and it can only go up from here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it was your first.
Oh yeah.
So for sure, when you do a first thing, a first album, a first documentary, a first movie, a first series, always take the critiques, because the critiques can just let you go up and just like learn from your mistakes, learn from what you can do better, and do it.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, like, you know, somebody brought up the narration idea like a month ago. I was doing something similar, and I was like, I had never thought of doing that. Like, I'm not a vocal person at all. Like, my podcast is about as far as I get. But I was like, that's a really smart idea. Like, I
mean, narration, you don't even have to show your face.
Yeah,
like, you could just like put a photo of you like a stupid like this, and be like, "Hi, I'm John. You know this guy."
That's right.
That would be my kind of thing mostly.
But I mean, the documentary was a learning curve without a doubt, man.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not saying it was a bad documentary. Like, I will maybe after that I would just like try to listen to it like fully. But yeah, I think like you can do something even more better. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah, and sometimes when it comes down to filmmaking and video stuff, it comes down to editing. Like, you could have a great storyline and a great everything, but if you don't know how to edit and like construct that story well, it's gonna lose its freaking railing.
For sure.
Man. So, and maybe that was one of the things where the length could have been cut to like,
mostly the length.
Yeah.
Mostly. I think the length, if you don't have a storyline that just like say, oh, that's why it's long like this. Well, why do you do something long? It's like a progressive album. Why do you do an album that's like 80 minutes long?
It's a Devin Townsend album.
Like, why do you do something long where you don't have a story about it?
Yeah.
Or like something to say. But yeah, that's my opinion.
No, you're good. I think I like
you're okay.
The critiques and things that they like. I don't like people that go, "Oh, it was amazing. Like, every aspect of it was great." Because I know that there was things that when they were watching, they were like, "I don't understand what the fuck's going on." But I'm gonna say I like it because I don't want to like hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. I like people that are blunt. Like, that's what I like, man.
I mean, I prefer to say what I think and be like, because like if you do a second, I think I want to watch a second and don't watch like a 3 hours like full interviews. I think that's my thing. Like, if I have to do a documentary, I will set the storyline first and if I have to answer like to do some interviews, I would try to get like as much question that resembles and just get their own point of view about it. I think a documentary is good because of that.
Yeah.
It's just like having your point of view about death metal, for example, or why do you think death metal is forged like this, like for the scene today, or something like that.
You should just get like ink blots and be like, what death metal band is this?
Yeah. Yeah, like Sanguisugabog comes up and they're like, what is going on here, man? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was long, but I mean, whatever. I just like it. I was like at first hearing like Barty talk, I was like, oh god, I forgot he was British, and then that was the first thought that came to my head. I was like, oh yeah, and then I mean, it was just cool like seeing all the faces and obviously just getting to see the influences and all that crazy stuff. And then to talk about the fans, I really enjoyed the part about the culture with the fans. Because I do think that unlike any other genre, metal especially, the artists are just as much fans as the fans are, you know, and so there's a lot of like a lot of the time you can kind of like be in a pit with these guys and you don't even know it, you know, because they're just going as crazy as you are. At a show. So it's just that was cool. And then the appreciation they have is, of course, it's you don't think about it, but it's like these guys really are cool dudes, you know. You very rarely have like a standoffish guys within the genre, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that was a cool section because I don't remember if the Maryland Death Fest footage was on in that. Was it or no?
I think the footage was on it. Yeah.
The Maryland Death Fest, like, was a video of like people.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know. I think it was cool that section because a lot of like the industry, it's revolving around the artist. You know what I mean? Like the music, the content. You know, whereas like that's like half of it. You know what I mean? You know, like a lot of these bands wouldn't be able to make the music they made and tour if like people didn't actually like go out and I don't know, like pay $50-$60 for shirts. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, like there's a lot of appreciation that comes towards the fans, but I think like getting the thought of like, hey, you know, what does it mean to you? Like these people supporting you around the world, etc. Is very important to add in there. But,
yeah, I've often will sometimes just go to shows and I have too many shirts, so I'll just be like, I don't want to buy a shirt, but here's $20, take it, please. You know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, please, let's give you something. Like, no, please, I don't want anything. It's not that I don't love you. I just can't.
Yeah,
my closet can't do it.
Yeah, way too many black shirts. Like, I mean,
oh my god,
that's like
I'm such a sucker for a black shirt, dude.
Yeah, like I don't know, 90% of my closet is just black. Like,
how many Mark Riddick designs can I have in one place? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm constantly adding more.
Black shirt, but now I have I'm in love with tie-dye. The tie-dyed shirt.
The tie-dye, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that gate creeper. I got the gate creeper one.
Yeah. I mean, gate creeper, like I got this Escuela Grind shirt, like red Escuela Grind shirt that was like, oh shit, so good. The Rivers of Nile blue shirt that was like, yeah, it's great. And I got a cattle decapitation one, but it's gray. I would have loved to get,
it's tie-dyed cattle decapitation one.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they got one like it's like.
Was it a Death Atlas one?
Yeah, I think the Death Atlas it's like a Reaper on like a wave of pollution.
It might be the Death Atlas. Like a Death Atlas track one or whatever.
I think yes, but like it's it's tie-dyed. Like they got the purple one and the gray one. I got the gray one. I wanted the purple, but the gray it's just what I got. So, I mean, it happens.
When it comes down to cattle decapitation, man, I think that's the one band I have just like the most merch for. Like they just have so much good items that come
I
out.
still have the one that's like Bring Back the Plague 2020.
Oh,
I still have that one. It's so good. I think what I do with it, I will like just like custom it as like I want to do it like a tank top.
Yeah.
Because like it just doesn't fit my arms right now. And like it's very like it's small right now. It got some holes, but I cannot get rid of it. So I need to do something else with it. So I will do maybe like something like a tank top with it.
Yeah.
There is so much people I saw in festival, like artists and bands. They're doing like fucking like tank tops with their like old shirt, and I was like, yo, that's so like intelligent. I saw Volcandra like at the RPM Fest in Massachusetts this September with Evan over there.
I was in attendance.
And I realized that. I was like, yo, that tank top doesn't exist. Oh, yeah, because he did it himself.
He chopped it off.
Yeah, he chopped it off. And yes, I was like, yeah, that's very intelligent. Like, I should do it with my old shirt. Like, instead of getting rid of the old shirt, I should just, like, do fucking, like, tank tops. And just, like, don't spend a lot of money on tank tops. Because I have my own.
Yeah. Another cool thing is I see a lot of people just, like, taking shirts that don't fit them and, like, making them into back patches.
Yeah, I thought about that, too. I got a couple of shirts that could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, what would it be?
I have so much shirts. I cannot, like, go on my... I mean, I could. I have my Mac over there, and we could go in my wardrobe.
It'd be cool. I have the Cryptopsy, the None So Vile. It'd be cool to just take, and on the back it says None So Vile. It'd be cool to just take None So Vile and then just put it as a back patch.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Be nice.
Subtle, but neat, you know?
I mean, I know a guy that got a back patch of, you know, the shirt with Trevor Sternad on it, like the memorial shirt of Trevor Sternad. Well, instead of wearing the shirt like I do, he just took, like, the design in the front and put it, like, on the back patch. I was like, that's very neat. That's very neat. That's very good.
Yeah, that whole thing with the Black Dahlia murder is just it's a heavy one. But I'm happy that they're continuously making music. Like I'm gonna be seeing them in a couple months. I don't know what to expect, man.
Are you going to that show in
which one? The Philly one?
Yeah.
I think no, is it the one in aren't they doing one like in Detroit or something like that? Like hometown, like their first show back or whatever.
I think I'm not going to that one. I'm going to Metal and Beer Fest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is awesome. Have you guys heard of that? Wanted to go to
I
that?
heard of that.
We want to go.
I want to go.
I have one of these. He makes it very hard.
He looks very like
he's so cute.
I know.
He's so cute.
Nephew.
He's angry He's angry octopus right now. He needs stimulation.
That's so funny. So that toy does that make him relax?
No, it just flips it, and Phil bought it, and so like it displays his mood. So like right now it's angry because he's angry, but it can also be happy. But he's not happy right now, so it's angry.
Are you angry,
It's
Drew?
sad.
You're angry, sad Drew.
I was like,
he slept a lot today, so he's gonna be wired up for a little bit.
that's awesome. That's so funny. I remember being I don't remember being a little baby, but I just remember like my sister being born. I'm like, oh my god, like babies are so cute. They still are.
They are cute. He's a cute boy. Oh, you know you're cute.
He's cute. He's cute when he's not throwing up on everything.
Feed him some napalm death, man.
Oh, dude, listen, he really likes beats. Like, I'll put on like old Jay-Z or like Nas, and he likes beats. Like he's into beats. He's into like stoner rock right now. So like I could put on like All Them Witches and like Clutch, and like he'll vibe. He'll just sit there, you know.
Will he bob his head? Will he like?
No, he just kind of sits and looks around, you know. So he's kind of just like figuring it out. Like right now, what he likes about, he's calm right now because of all the lights on my setup.
Okay.
He'll like
he looks like he's like.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
He looks like he got like a big like
there.
joint and be like, what is the meaning of life?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
But Phil has something for us, John.
Yeah, and also I see the hour passing and I'm like, yo, I should get on the fucking other meeting, so I just like push that later.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I have another thing with Vox and Hops. So because
word?
I do it every Thursday. So
shoot, is he on it right now?
Yeah, because there is not Matt.
No, it's not.
No, it's just like something that I do just to keep my mental state stable.
Is it like a hangout type thing?
Yeah, it's a hangout.
It's still the hangout. It's just
word, dude. I'll have to get on that. Like, was it Thursday nights at what?
Yeah, Thursday nights normally at like 8.
So
okay.
yeah.
Hey, wait, 8 p.m. what?
8
Eastern.
p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh shoot!
We are in the same time zone, so it's good.
Yeah, no, I'll have to.
I mean, if you have nothing to do like on 8 p.m. and be like, yo, I want to talk to people, just like join like the Vox and Ops Thirsty Thursday. You go on there.
I wonder if it's the same link that he sent me. Like,
no, it's another link. I send it. I send it every Thursday. So you just up on that link that I send, and if you can't go on the group, I will send it to you like privately. So it's the same link that I do every time. I just send it every week, so people just know it.
So it used to be that Matt got away from doing it because he got so busy. But
yeah, I was wondering what the hell happened.
We kept doing it. I took it over, and just kept making links and kept hosting it, and then eventually he was coming, and then I couldn't keep it up anymore, so Phil took it over.
Oh
now
man,
Phil
it's like a
Phil
spiral.
does it all. Yeah, and then we also do the album reviews. That's something for Vox and Hops. That's something that we actually have to get.
Oh, okay. Because I was
jump
wondering,
back on
man, because he's had a lot of cool things happen within the last month, and I was like, he's got to have people helping him, because like me, like what I do is a lot, man. Like I spend a lot of time doing what I do, and like he does like everything, man. He like makes like beers for bands, like does album reviews, does the podcast, like but that's cool that he's like getting more people involved in what he does, you know.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He is a busy guy. It's amazing that he has time for all of it, you know.
Yeah, but all right, well, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for
well, I have a little game, and we'll wrap it up like very soon.
Shoot. Okay.
Oh yeah, Phil. I have never won these games
with
our guests.
This?
I've never won.
This is not a game. This one is more a tier list.
It's a game that I will lose.
I don't even know how you did this, but okay.
I did it on Photoshop.
Oh no, I mean like how you got my screen to look like this. Okay.
Awesome. It's just I just like, you know, right now I have a setup of 2 computers. I have my computer for the Zoom, and I have another computer on the Zoom call that got like my Photoshop setup. So
I like it.
So yeah.
The tier list. Okay.
So this is a tier list, and it's a special one because I just use bands that are in your documentary.
Oh God. Wait. Oh God. Okay.
I haven't used like all the bands. I've used a couple of them that I think are interesting, and I think like because I wanted something that I know that Evan knows, so I'm like, okay. Let's do a tier list.
About to make some enemies today.
No.
And that's why I'm like, I have a couple of rules. Like, if you don't want to answer one and you're like, oh, I don't want to answer, we don't put it in tier list. Okay. If you want to put it in the tier list, we do it. Like, if you don't want to answer on one because, like, oh, this band, for example, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it because of a couple of reasons. You don't want to make enemies, which is completely fine. We'll do it for your place, and we'll do it in the tier list.
Okay, let's do it.
Perfect. So let's begin with the first one, gentlemen.
Oh, what is this for? Like, what is the tier for?
Just funds.
The tier, okay, so the S is like the best.
The best meaning like to hang out with?
No, like the best band.
The best band that you think.
Oh, like, just like what
you love that band. Okay, so the S is like the band that you love the most. You're like, oh, this is the best band in like all the documentary that I made. The best band that you love personally.
So it's not about hanging out with them. It's like the actual music, like what I think of them, like listening on
the band as a whole. Yeah,
the band as a whole. Like, it can be also hang out with. Like, it's what you think about the band, and it's also musical. Hang out if you hang out with them. Well, you did because of the documentary, but like. Just the band as a whole, what you think about them. And that's why I said if you don't want to answer and you don't want to put it on them.
I just wanted to make it fair. Okay. All right, let's. Okay.
So let's start with 200 stab wounds. All right.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Because like I have this one over there. Yeah. So 200 stab wounds.
I would say A. I like 200.
Yeah, I think.
I would say A too.
Yeah, I would probably say A just because like they're very mellow people. They were like the first people I filmed with, and they're like super chill. Plus, like their music is so heavy. Like, I mean, like so good, so tight. A, without a doubt.
Okay, so 200 stab wounds. A tier. Second band. Napalm Death.
S.
I mean, I love them. They got the best song ever, which is called "You Suffer."
Yeah, I like their newest EP. It's awesome.
I mean, I like Napalm Death. I like them, but I haven't been in their song too much.
Nah, let's go S tier. S tier, come on.
S tier because it's the legend. So Napalm Death.
They are. You talk about like what they've done.
Yeah.
And like when they first started, like you can remember, like they were one of the first real extreme bands,
and to hang out with Barney, like he was another one that was like super mellow and like humble, very focused. So I would say S. Like he's very you know what I mean, like when it comes to vocalists, they get a little bit out of control, they on tour, so no, he was very like focused and good. Awesome to be around with.
Next one. And I know where it's going, but
I know it. Yeah, it's us. Yeah, that's us.
Travis, yes, come on.
I don't know what to say other than the fact that I'm just like a huge fan of that band, and like every aspect of that band and what I've experienced with Travis was amazing.
For those who don't know, it's cattle decapitation. It's S automatically. It's so good.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that, folks.
Yeah, for sure. Go listen to Cattle, everyone. Next one, Incantation.
These are so hard.
It's hard. To be fair, I just listened to the last album of Incantation. I'm not like... I wasn't like a big fan of them because like I haven't listened to a lot of their stuff. I've listened to the last album, it's a good album. It just, for me, it felt like it's a death metal album. It just didn't feel like special to me.
Yeah.
I've never felt that Incantation was super, how do I put it? Were they a pioneer in any way?
Yeah.
I know that they, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just too much of like, I also come from like that hardcore like doom era, so like death metal, I'm still like, I don't know a ton of those really early influences.
Yeah.
So I guess this one just escapes me. I would have
Incantation,
to say.
I would say they're like a very monumental band to death metal itself. But the one thing I will say about their band and specifically is like you have to see them live. When it comes down to like this type of death metal, like you gotta experience it like in person, man. But
What's that mean?
I don't know, like A? I give it an A.
I mean, I was going to give them a B, but A,
I know you're going for a B.
I was going for a B because, like, I was like, yeah,
well, it's John's list, Phil. Come on.
No, you could pick whatever you want to. This is
put it.
You know what?
Just put it in note.
Let's do the middle. Let's do the middle.
John's gonna like text me and be like, "What the hell, man?
You know what?
What the hell?
You know
He's
what?
gonna text me and be like, "I'm a B, man. Really?"
You know what? Let's do an A because I love you. I love John, even though because I think I heard the album. I was like, "Yo, the voice is so deep," and I heard the interview. I was like, "The voice is so high. What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was about to say like he's definitely an A, just because like how
it's an A. It's an A.
he's a very loving human.
Okay, so it's an A. Municipal waste. Yes.
Ooh.
All right. As far as like speed metal goes, like
That was straight to B.
yeah.
Damn, this man moved it straight to B. Wow.
Is there a reason?
Yo, Dave
for
Whitty
B?
is like upset.
What do you say?
Is there a reason why B? Because like I've listened to Municipal Waste. It's great, but is there a reason why B and not A, for example?
Ooh.
How about make a case for A, huh?
You know. Okay.
I'm just curious. That's all.
You know. Okay. There was only one situation. Like, I don't know. Like, their guitar player is a little bit. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that like his personality is a little bit different.
Okay.
I don't know. It just came off to me like he was like a little bit too, like, full of himself. Like,
Oh, okay.
everybody else I had on the documentary was awesome, but like there was like a situation where I was supposed to like film with Tony, and like it didn't end up working out. I used like old footage, but then I ended up talking to him, and like I don't know, he just wasn't as like friendly as the other guys. Like he just I don't know. There's just something off about him, man. Like, okay, we like set up behind like a Jack Daniels poster, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be like associated with that. Like, we can do better." I'm like, "Okay, man. Like, relax. Like, okay, I understand." But
Okay, so he sounds like a diva.
That's not very municipal waste of him.
yeah, and I don't even want to sound like an asshole or anything, but that was like the only person on the documentary where I was just like, I don't know. His personality just wasn't as mellow as the other guys. He was a little bit more like uptight and like, I don't know.
There's something too. I've noticed sometimes where it's like, you ask people to get in front of a camera, and it's like suddenly it's like a whole,
yeah,
it's like an entirely different person, you know?
Oh yeah. And I think that, yeah, it was just weird because he was just like, "Oh, you don't want to have me in your documentary." I'm like, I founded this band. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, okay, I want you in this documentary. Like, why are you being rude to me? But yeah, I would say Municipal Waste is a great band. It's like an ass, but like the experience I had with him in specific, I was like, B.
B.
Let's put it. Oh yeah. S. Yeah.
What do you think, Kevin?
I can't even lie to you. Midnight, I knew very little about. Seen the documentary and listening to them. You know, obviously seeing them and getting to know more about them from the documentary. They're definitely they're cool and interesting. I mean, that was another thing I liked about the documentary was just, like I like about everything with metal is talking to people and finding new bands that I probably didn't know about or whatever. So,
keep going up. Yeah, they're nice. Midnight.
Keep going up. Keep going up.
Go all the way.
Yeah. Midnight. I don't know how to explain this other than the fact that Athanar was just such like a. I don't know. He's just like such a sweetheart. Like he's an older guy. Like he's not like in his 20s or whatever. But like I remember like walking up to him and like he doesn't use social media. So like, I remember like pulled out his flip phone. He's like, "Where you want to do this, man?" He's like,
he pulled out his flip phone.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll text you." I'm like, "All right." And he's
awesome.
like, "Do you want the full get up or what?" I'm like, "Come on, yeah, I want the midnight attire." He's like, "I got it. I got you, man. Like, I got you." But yeah, he was a great dude. Athanar, if I could just hang out with him for a night, I don't know.
In full getup.
Oh yeah, in the full getup, and like they're like a rowdy band, and I love that about them. Like they're a band to me that they just grab the attention of the listener, and you just want to sing back. They're like the one band that I go to a show and I just lose it. You know, like I'm in the pit. I don't pit. I'm not a pitting guy, but I
get crazy.
Like satanic royalty, like it doesn't get better than that.
Interesting. So.
Oh God! All right. Obituary.
So many S tiers, huh?
I think yes. I just took like bands from the documentary. I'll be fair with you. Obituary, I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, it's a great band. It's influential, but it's just like for me, it just felt like. For me, it's B, but that's just for me.
You said it's a B.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, Phil. I know you're Canadian, all right. I get it. But, I mean, dude, such disrespect.
Yeah, you got like all of the obituary guys like going like, all right, I gotta get out of this video now. Like,
okay, it's a S.
You know how many viewers we just lost? All 4 of our viewers are gone.
Yeah, I think obituary.
Okay, it's a double S. Oh, it's
I would say they're like A tier. I would say they're A tier.
Okay, A tier.
They were all. I always thought that they were really awesome. I think it was all. I always equated it to like, if you had to compare the bands. I don't really like trying to compare like all those like those older death metal bands, but I think that where they stack up with the rest of them,
yeah,
I think they're like just slightly below, but they're like right there.
Okay.
Because you gotta give them something, but like I mean they're fucking, it's obituary, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it other than the fact that like my experience with Trevor was like hilarious. Like, I mean, like my friend was like, "Hey, like he's at the bar drinking. Like, let's get him to be on camera." And like he walked in with like a 20, and he's like, "What's up, boys? Let's do this." And I was like, "All right, like let's go for it." He was mellow, man. He was like, I don't know. I think he fits up with the A and the S. But
I mean,
I would
in
say,
between.
yeah,
in between.
I can't pick between A and S. It's so hard.
Let's put it in between.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of it. Because, like, I have to listen to more of them, but, like, when I listen to them, just, like, the voice, I'm just, like, I'm not, like, used to that kind of voice. I'm just, like, yeah, it's good, but it's
that was
not,
the
like,
sound.
It's not my favorite, and I have to be honest about it. It's not my favorite. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm too honest.
I like your bluntness, man.
I mean, I'm always like this.
Phil's just throwing them punches.
I mean, it's my personality.
You're throwing
it's
elbows.
It's the code
man.
of personality. On death.
On death.
I don't know. Like, I wanted to see them live this year. They were supposed to do the Brutal Montreal in Montreal. They were supposed to do it, but the guy got like a surgery of some sort, and like I don't know. I think he got like a dental surgery, and I was like, okay, so they cannot do it. But I love the band.
Yeah, you know, man, like to me, Undeath means a lot more than most people. I was in a band when I was younger, and I played their first show. Like, I was like an opening act for them. There was like nobody there, so I've seen like the whole evolution of Undeath, like from the very beginning when nobody listened to them to fucking playing Psycho Las Vegas. So they're like an ass, like for me, like without a doubt.
I have always felt very good about Undeath. I've seen them already 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And they have been every bit the juggernauts that they've become.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
And the best part about that band, like, they're very humble. Like, I mean, like when I was in Vegas at that festival, like I'm next to Rochester. I'm like a city next to them. So like me and Alex are tight. Like, we're just like, hey, how you doing? Type deal. Like, we know each other. And it was funny because like I walked across the street to like a Walgreens or like a CVS, and like he had like a big bag of chips. He's like, "You want some chips, man?" Like, I just like stuck my hands. He just like didn't ask any questions. He's like, "You want some chips?" And I was like, he's still humble, and I love that about him. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm glad that they're becoming like this gigantic force in metal, because like they're just like goofballs too, like goofball, like nerdy in like a good way, and like their music is just amazing. You know what I mean? It grabs you.
I get such Black Dahlia vibes. Just like even like seeing the guys in like interviews and like, you know, when they perform, and you know, like they have a vibe like that where you're just like, you know, you just get extra excited because you're like, oh
yeah, because like they're just
feel so good about them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about being in a band, it's not even like, yeah, like you have to make good music, but at the same time just be like a good person, you know, like just like state what your thoughts are, just reserve some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying.
Oh hell yeah.
Well, I'm seeing the hour go, and I have a last one for you.
Oh God, what is this last one?
Because I have a couple of ones, but like, let's do it as a last one. I don't even know what is. Oh, I know what is this one.
These are so hard, man. There's
I know.
Nothing. Yeah.
I know. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'll let you choose between this or this. You choose what you want to put in the tier list.
Oh, man.
So, Frozen Soul
versus Sanguisugabog.
So like I put Undeath and 200 above these two all day long.
So
I also have a soft spot in my heart for Vomit Forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, as far as like Sanguisugabog, I'm probably the most down on just because I just don't vibe with it as much as I would the other ones.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I think it's the delivery more than anything, because in reality, the subject matter is a large part of what separates all of those guys. You know, Frozen Soul, you obviously have more of like the ice, and it's the feeling. It's slower. It's a little more, like you know. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave these two up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Frozen Soul is. I'm gonna say Frozen Soul's a B.
Oh.
Don't worry, John.
Ooh.
We're not here to make friends.
Oh shit.
Same with Sugabaga is definitely a C. Come on.
Oh.
I was going to make him D, but I'd go with C. I'll go with C.
Now, why do you guys say that? I'm curious.
Okay. Same with Sugabog. It's great. Like, the music is like unique, but I'll be fair. I heard some stories about them being douchebags.
Oh no. No.
But okay. So I'm glad that you say it. I'm glad that you say it, because that's what I heard of some people that met them. So that's why I'm just like, is it real?
No.
Okay.
Man. Because I've hung out with Devin probably the most out of this documentary film, maybe like freaking 5 times.
Oh,
and like,
okay.
And I remember like after a show, like me and him were just sitting at like a table, and he was like eating, and he just looked at me dead in the eyes, and he's like, you know, what you're doing is extremely important, and I respect the fuck out of you. And I was like, word? Like, I mean, it was just like man to man, like no camera in front of it or anything like that. Like he was just like,
I would put them in B just for that.
Yeah.
I just don't vibe with the overall. I just don't vibe with the music. Matter? I don't know. I just don't vibe with the music. That's just me. I've developed into, but that I know it's me because I've developed more like my ears are like doom metal. Like I love all things doom. I love like all things.
Yeah.
That, you know, so like that, I know it's me. I know I'm the issue.
Nah, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, everybody has their own flavors. You know what I mean? What they enjoy. I don't even. I
like Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, like, and that's what I mean.
Okay, so you know what? I would put him in B because I would like to meet the guy. I would like to meet the guy.
Well, yeah, if this is coming down to personality, I would put him in S.
Musically, just like it, I don't vibe with them as much.
Yeah,
I will let him in B just for the sake of it, but just like if it was only music wise and not just like the guy, I would put them in C.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say it's all of it, the overall impression, the music and all, I would put them in B because you seem to have a great like experience with him. So I'm just like, let's put him in B for this.
Yeah, Devin's the man, dude. Like,
okay,
whoever said that they're assholes, I don't know who that is, man. But
Phil, I'm surprised you don't have Niall on this list.
Niall would have been a nope.
Why? What happened to
Phil
Niall?
hates Niall.
I don't like Niall. The music, the personality of Car Sanders, of what I heard of him. I just don't like him.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, Niall.
Well, you heard something, not in premiere because I said it on the podcast so much times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go back. We've done these tier lists before, just like kind of just like real quick hitters, and we did old school. We did all the old school bands. So we did like Venom. We did Carcass. We ranked like all the old school bands, and we got to Niall, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like Niall, and Phil was like, yo, fuck it, nope. I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Relax.
I'm sorry, just like my overall feeling of them, just like it's death metal, okay, but it's just like they're saying it's technical. There's nothing technical about that band. It's just fucking fast. Your solos are fucking shit. Like, I'm sorry, but it just, that's what it feels. It's just like, why?
Get him, Phil.
Damn.
Get him, Phil.
I'm so like unfiltered. I have an unfiltered opinion.
I love it.
And it just like, if people hate me for that, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think that people that listen to this type of music, I wouldn't say they're opinionated. It's just like we're all like metal nerds, man. Like, I mean, we just like obscure things, and there's some things that we like, some things that we really dislike. You know what I mean?
We just can't have nice things.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
like so some people can say like Sanguisugabog is like funny, like their subject matter is funny, and I'm like, yeah, well, I like that though, because like there's way too many metalheads that are just like, they take themselves way too seriously. Like I'm just trying to like listen to music that's, I don't know, like humorous, and like at the end of the day you're just like, oh, it's just like a little joke. Like,
oh, you'll like the my shout out for this week then.
Okay. What's the shout out?
Okay, so yeah.
Now, are you all set, Phil? We good?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Just like that, I have something to show before, just a little thing like this, not this. Not this. Come on. So let me little thing. This.
Everything's in French. And
logo for you.
Whoa, that's sweet. I like that. My name is like, I like it. It says I like
Jon Lambert.
How'd you make it?
I make it with like just a font that I found, and I put like some texture in it. I mean, it looks great.
It looks cool.
It looks fucking cool.
How do you?
Huh?
Yeah, I said, how do you even? That's rad. Yeah, it looks like you actually like drew it, which is funny.
Yeah, I just didn't. I just put filters in it. It's just like, I'm a big Photoshop guy, so like Photoshop, Illustrator, so I do all those kinds of things.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so let's do it like a quick wrap up with some shout outs, because some people are just like, yo, go on the Vox and Knobs thing. So I'm just like, fuck.
Check out this, check out that, check out this, check out that.
So yeah,
John, you go
shout
first.
outs.
Okay, shout out to you guys for having me on your podcast and telling me your thoughts, and the other thing was awesome. I really appreciate it. And dealing with me taking my nap, my overextended nap.
And the full night's sleep.
Yes, my shout out, a band that I've been listening to recently that I think that everybody should be looking at, is Tribal Gaze.
Tribal Gaze?
That's a good one.
Tribal Gaze, Ruin, and a local band from here, Anthropic. They're a very good grindcore band that everybody needs to listen into. Yeah.
Perfect. What is your shout out, Evan?
Mine is gonna be Acid Witch, Raw Among Us, drop this year. Perfect. And I would say if you're a fan of Cattle the Cat, they definitely take the witch vocals to the nth degree.
Acid Witch,
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Acid Witch. Mine, it's
Nile.
No.
It's Nile.
No. It's a local band from Quebec. It's called Aeternam. It's a band that is like, it's more melodic death metal with a little bit like more like extreme stuff. But they got this album about Constantinople. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just bad at pronouncing. And it's the album is called Hair of Rising Sun. it's just so good. The album is fucking great. It's talking about the fall of Constantinople. It's just so good. Love it.
Yeah, I'll
so
check
much.
that out too.
Very good. It was out this year. I mean, go check it out, folks. And I think it's good for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. You made my night, and obviously you did well, Evan, because your man's sleeping.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to talk too loud.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it because like he gets super amped up when he sees me, but like it's a blessing and a curse because when you try to put him to bed, every time he sees me, he just gets like fucking juiced up. So I'm like, oh god.
That's so funny.
But John, hey, thanks for taking the time, dude. Keep up the good work, man. I mean, keep doing your thing. It's awesome to see what you've built and what you keep creating.
Yes, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm gonna keep working at it. And I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I'm gonna film another one. That's all I know. That's what I'm working on.
That's perfect.
All right, well you guys have a good rest of your night, and cheers to you. Even though I didn't have a beer.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So he was Evan. He was John. I'm Phil. And see you on the next one. Cheers.